Herzlich willkommen, Montagabend, endlich wieder Twitch-Show-Zeit und ja, ich bin zwar auch wie jeden Montag müde und auch mein Nachbar ist müde, aber wir haben viel vor heute mit euch. Wir haben viele coole Sachen mal wieder und nach einer Woche Pause ist auch Sean wieder da. Hallo Sean!
Servus! Hallo!
Applaus, Applaus, Applaus. Und wir haben heute keinen Special Guest, weil wir sind die Special Guests. You are my special guest.
The most special.
And I'm your special guest.
You're more than a guest to me, Paul.
And you're special.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
So, ihr Lieben, es ist wieder wie immer.
What's up, Joe?
You can open the bottle. Sean, I believe in you.
No, I did. Look at this. Skill. Shutting it is a different task. But now I've mastered that too. That's how quick of a learner I am.
I leave it open. I just put it on there.
That's dangerous. All this expensive equipment.
Mhm. Ihr Lieben, wir machen es wie immer. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, wenn ihr Sachen zu besprechen habt, wenn ihr irgendwas wissen wollt, postet es rein. Wir werden heute einen etwas größeren Rückblick auf die vergangenen Wochen und Monate machen und natürlich dann einen detaillierten Rückblick auf das letzte Spiel und dann auch eine Vorschau auf den Austrian Bowl, because we are in the Austrian Bowl, because we were Sieger last weekend.
Ow, that hurt.
You dislocated your shoulder.
I got a bruise right here. Because a little safety 27, they're so hard to get under. On the first run, I had my right arm just went numb. I was like, all right, good start.
The right one, just throwing up.
Yeah, the money maker, some people would call it.
Okay, cool. The money maker. Why the money maker?
It's how I earned a living for a lot of years.
True.
Well, certainly it wasn't my feet.
Es ist die 11. Austrian Bowl Teilnahme in Folge für die SWARCO Raiders Tirol. Und weil das letztjährige Finale, auch wenn die Vikings da Staatsmeister geworden sind, wird nicht offiziell als Austrian Bowl gezählt, sondern nur als österreichische Staatsmeisterschaft. Das heißt, ohne Unterbrechung in dem Sinne, außer halt durch Covid, sind wir seit 2010 ununterbrochen im Austrian Bowl.
That's a crazy, crazy streak.
It's your 6th Austrian Bowl. And you won 4 of it.
4. So
now.
4 out of 5 as of now.
4 out of 5. Wow.
Nah, it's a crazy streak for a club. I mean, unbelievable the sustainability of success. Because it's not the easiest league. I mean, you saw it in the semifinals this week. I mean, the Vikings were very close to not making it. It's in the and we've had really close semifinals since I've been here. Prague's been super tight.
The last one, Dragons, right? Not the one from Saturday, but the
year before.
2 years before.
Really close. I mean, it's a tough league to keep it going for 11 years. Is really unbelievable.
So we are really happy, and we are also really happy that already so many people tuned in to our show. Sean, we start with the recap of the whole season, I would say.
Sure.
I saw today we are in total, I think, 7-4 when we take the ELF games. ELF, sorry.
Something else on your mind, huh?
The CFL games. So we are 7-4. 4 losses in a year is not really common for the Raiders. Let's say it this way. If you had to describe the season in the whole season in 2 sentences, what would it be?
The first thing that comes to mind is this is by far my most challenging season as a Raider. And the second thing that comes to mind is with how challenging it was and how much adversity we had, we still ended up in both finals. So that's a real testament to the personnel that we have in this club and in the football program, both as staff and coaches and players, that we were able to... I mean, the fact that we were able to go undefeated in May was unbelievable, considering the type of competition we played and what we were going through. I mean, it was just... I think everybody listening knows that we've talked about it before, the injuries that we occurred, but also having, a coaching staff that's completely new. Everybody was in new positions, maybe not new to the Raiders, but new positions, and there was learning curves there. New personnel. I was playing with new linemen and new running backs that I've never played with before, and that takes time to gel. And the only consistent was our defense played pretty well all season.
So this was already 19 sentences. You were asked to say it in 2.
It was a very challenging season. Nevertheless, we were achieving our goals and competing for championships.
Exactly. And let's talk about, you already started it, but let's talk about the challenges. I think everything started last year in February, March, when COVID came, and this was the first and maybe the biggest challenge for all of us, and it also affected a lot our football program. We were waiting, can we play, can we not play, then we didn't play it, and through these through the month already from the year before Austrian Bowl 2019 till season 2020, then to season 21, the team changed so much,
drastically.
So many players joined the Raiders, but also so many players left the Raiders. Same with coaches. So this is what you said. This was, I think, the biggest challenge for the coaching staff to build that team, to become a coaching staff, a new coaching staff, a new group. To find,
which is no easy task.
Not at all. But the same task also for the team. To become a team, with all these new guys and all these challenges, and not being really together till, when was it, January this year or something?
We really didn't get going until February.
Yeah. And then with all these smaller challenges through the weeks, injuries, people who were new to positions, people who were completely new to the team. And then, you said it at the end, we made it to both finals, and it was really interesting to I know you don't do it a lot, but I read a lot also on social media and in the newspapers, and people were really like, hey, what's going on with the Raiders? We don't know that. They are probably fans who started following the Raiders and didn't saw us losing for a while. So,
if you started coming to games in Tivoli in 2017, you've never seen a loss in Tivoli.
Yeah, exactly. So for them, for the outside, it was new. I think also for a couple of us in the team, in the organization, it was new. But we, how you say it in English, wir haben es gut gemeistert.
Yeah, if you really think about it, the 7-4 record doesn't look as usual, but what had happened is we lost early in Vienna, which is not uncommon at all. That happens more times than not.
In overtime.
Exactly. We lost a really tightly contested game in a CFL championship. That can happen. Anything in an international championship can happen. We saw that in 19.
Great against the German vice champion, against a great organization from Schwäbisch Hall.
And we saw it in 19 with Kalanda. That was no easy task either. Probably should have lost that game. We got a couple good bounces our way. And so those two losses, those happen on a year-in, year-out basis. The fact that it didn't happen in 2019 is just special. That's what makes that special. And then it's really the Dragons loss and the Prague loss that makes, and maybe how we won some other games, which is not uncommon, like losing in the third quarter to Prague at home. That's not common. Or the Rangers game being tighter than people remembering Rangers games being. And so that might been where fans go, this is different. This is a different year. Who are these people? Who are some of these guys? Rafael Belici, who is he playing against Milan? Who is he catching touchdowns against the Rangers? First drive of the game, he catches a touchdown against the Vikings in a CFL semifinal, and you're like, who is this guy?
This guy?
And there was that throughout the season, not only on offense, on defense, as well. We had a lot of new faces, Ferrari, Lorenzo, Meyerhofer, these guys that people don't know.
Yeah, the Italian connection on defense, with Ruben Saber, which is South Tyrolean.
Yeah, if
Alex Ferrari.
They are soccer European champions. You just think Fabi changed his number with Ruben.
Yeah, True. I mean, I think Ruben...
Which is a compliment to Ruben.
Yeah. Ruben, you're watching probably...
I think Ruben's a bit bigger, though. Bigger. Don't you think?
He is?
I think so.
But good season, Ruben.
Better beard, too. But, yeah, so I think from a performance standpoint, it's not uncommon for us to lose Vienna at Vienna. It's not.
Yep.
It's difficult to win international championships. And then to lose a couple games at the end of the season when maybe you're not putting your best team forward because you have bigger aspirations, because it's not consequential in your standings. Those also things happen. It's just that they all happen in one season is odd. Because in 18 we did the same thing. You know, we dropped a game to the Dragons at the end of the season, not putting our best team out there because we had bigger goals. And that could be said about at least Prague. And so yeah, that is the for in the loss column is uncommon, but how we did it is not necessarily uncommon, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
So with this playoff semi-final last Saturday, I think the team, for me as a spectator, I didn't play it. It was like, okay, the team showed that the 4 losses, there's not going to be a 5th one. So they understood the situation, and I think Damaso Tanella from Raiders TV said it in the interview to Kevin. All 3 phases played pretty well. I mean, you said the defense through the whole season, I think did a great job. Offensively, we were driving down. Of course, there were 2 interceptions. The second one maybe debatable if it was one, but there were 2 turnovers.
Right.
And we still came back. You know, we scored on every other drive. Did we punt it?
Not that I believe. No, the first drive we punted.
The first drive.
First drive we punted.
And so we saw I saw the confidence in you with the offense, and it worked pretty nice. We had our key players again. It is the Marco Schneider. It is the Adrian Platzkummer. And then on special teams, our kickoff returns looked good. Lucas Fink surprises me that on the one he saw a nice hole, he cut it up.
Huge field goal.
The nice field goal. Not our strength this year.
No, not as. But that field goal was huge because we had a touchdown called back. Shout out Davion. And then
your long run.
Yeah, and we had a touchdown called back, and to get points out of the drive to go up 2 scores was huge. Yeah. Was huge because that's the type of things that had happened offensively. We've made mistakes in the red zone and then come away with nothing. Prague, we missed at least 1 field goal.
2.
The Dragons, we missed a field goal, I believe. And so in those situations, to come away with points is still super important.
You understand this?
No. Herr Hartmann.
Flink is a word for fast. So is it not Lucas Fink? Maybe Lucas Flink. Yeah, Flinky.
But Flinky got caught in Prague.
Yeah.
So not that fast. You know what I mean?
No, but I think we managed that game very good. And
to your point, enough. I think the team got to the point where enough's enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We lost a big game. We lost a big game in the Swedish game, and that hurt. That stung, and maybe that affected us going into the Dragons game. I know Kev's mission was kind of like, or message was kind of shake it off and move forward, but that can be tough. It can be tough. Blowing a 9-point lead in the third quarter in an international final game is tough.
Yeah.
That stays with you.
Yeah.
And then particularly knowing, since we beat the Vikings but lost the tiebreaker, it'd be really hard to fall out of that second spot. Maybe it was in the back of some guys' heads, and then we just didn't play good football for the last 2 weeks prior to the semifinal, and it got to the point where enough was enough.
There were 2 good comments on Saturday and yesterday. On Saturday it was the general secretary of the AFBÖ who came to me after the game and said, "Yeah, you guys are a playoff team. You know when it counts, and then you play good football. And then yesterday Walter Reiterer in his Wort am Sonntag said, yeah, I told you guys, the Raiders are jumping only that high how they need to, which is, I think, kind of right, but they both, and these are also people from the outside, they weren't surprised that we didn't, I don't know if there was anybody surprised that we didn't lost the game yesterday, because the Dragons probably came with a lot of confidence. Of course, they beat us 2 weeks ago, and but for us, there were no doubt. We talked on Friday night. There were no doubt that we gonna lose that game.
No. I couldn't see a way we wouldn't win that game, and I think Walter has a small point in the terms of when it's playoffs, the good teams can ramp it up to another notch. You know what I mean? The good teams, the championship caliber teams, can find a different gear. And it's not to say that we don't play hard during the regular season, but it's different.
It's different, exactly.
And you can see that in our offense.
It's do or die.
You can see that in our offense. I mean, me personally, it might affect me and how I play personally more than anybody else on the team. Because during the regular season, it's operate. It's get through it, get guys the ball in space and everything like that. And the game plans are completely different. The offensive game plan on Saturday was unlike any game plan we put together for the whole season. I can't remember the last time I had 18 rushes in a game.
And they were designed quarterback runs.
And a lot of them were designed quarterback runs. And that wouldn't happen in a regular season game. And that's a dynamic of our offense that comes out in important games, in playoff games, and do-or-die games. And you wouldn't do that. Or you wouldn't use Davion in jet sweeps and as a running back in these kind of facets. And I don't know how much it changed for the defense because they've just been playing really well all season. But for the offense, it does change things. Yeah. And, so to his point, we can find another gear in those type of situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's maybe have a look on the highlights.
Sorry, I just saw the name of the last commenter.
So Alotta.
Frau Hose.
So, gut. Ich würde sagen, wir schauen uns die Highlights, die 3 Minuten Highlights von Samstag an. Die 15 Minuten Highlights kommen in den nächsten, glaube ich, 1-2 Tagen dann auf YouTube hoch, auf unserem Raiders-Kanal, den ihr unbedingt übrigens abonnieren müsst. Und deswegen poste ich euch jetzt auch mal den Link hier rein. Also wer noch nicht unseren YouTube-Kanal abonniert hat, bitte machen. Da kommt dann auch wieder Inside the Raiders drauf vom letzten Spiel und natürlich dann auch vom Austin Bowl. Also unbedingt alle mal ein Abo dalassen und die Glocke anmachen. So, aber jetzt wollten wir uns die Highlights vom Wochenende anschauen. Und der Titel sagt es, Finale, wir kommen. So. Yeah, rainy weather. It was also.
Yeah, but
we were lucky.
I feel like the field was okay.
The field was okay.
There wasn't that much slippage. This is so graceful. Look at this. Oh, don't step on my toes.
So, Ruben mit dem ersten Touchdown. Und dann haben die Dragons gleich mal mit einem ziemlich langen Lauf geantwortet.
Yeah, he had a very productive day. Our defense really shut down their passing attack, which is what we struggled with in Indiana. But they had some success on the ground.
Yep.
He's just a big guy. I think the roster system.
And block PAT important.
Shout out Jeff.
Yep.
That was so dumb. That was really dumb.
A little bit in the back.
It was just a bad decision and a bad call. Which is just usually not a good sign.
Aber dann auf Marco Schneider.
Well, the defense had a 3-and-out when we punted, and I was able to make up for
it. It was Marco's 11th touchdown this season.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good season.
Yep.
I love the fact that every time he's written about in American football national, they always mention 7
Oh, really?
Even the game preview was like the 5'9", which is 5'9" Marco Schneider. It's like, just say Marco Schneider.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
But then defense right after it with a nice fumble.
So that's the crazy thing is both interceptions, the defense was just like, yeah, not a problem.
Yeah. And then the field goal you mentioned.
Huge.
Oh,
get up, Sean! Get up!
Why did you turn?
He spun me.
Okay, it looked like you jumped and turned.
Well, I panicked, for sure. As soon as I left the ground, I go, bad idea. And then that was good to see that we were able to score a touchdown to theoretically seal the game, which we've been struggling with in the past. We had that opportunity against Slavish and couldn't do it. And so, hey, that Jan Meyerhofer guy is pretty good.
Yeah, he was all good. He had a good season. He was
a better football player than he was Gäste, though.
The Gently Sean. Ja, also, die 3 Minuten Highlights habt ihr jetzt gesehen. Ich hoffe, in der Zwischenzeit habt ihr alle unseren Kanal abonniert. Ich schaue gleich rein. Davor waren es 230 Abonnenten. Immer noch 230. Geht alle auf YouTube. Abonniert SWARCO Raiders Tirol. Jetzt. Da ist der Link im Chat. The Dragons logo looks like a Make-A-Wish project. Oh, Oberjager, danke für dein Follow. What? For Malotta?
Yeah, I'm gonna. We try to be pretty nice on this show. I think I like to do it, but I feel comfortable saying it because I've told this to Dragons to their face. Mm-hmm. You have such a cool mascot. A dragon. Like, it's hard it's hard to screw up a dragon. But the new Dragons logo is tough. It's really tough.
Is it?
I strongly recommend that they have some sort of rebranding. I just don't like it. It looks hand-drawn. It's more of a lizard.
Yeah,
why is the eye not filled in? I don't know. You could do a lot with a dragon. I think you could do a lot better than that.
Yeah, true. Maybe one day.
And they have good colors. Like, they have nice jerseys. It's just they have this big 12-year-old drawing of a dragon on their helmets.
Told you to keep going on. You're doing a good job. Thanks, Oberjager.
So.
Immer noch 230. Es hat niemand den Kanal abonniert.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to...
we can go through all the teams and comment on their logos.
You want to do this now?
No.
No, me neither. Let's do a logo show one day.
Or we can talk about if it's so distracting with somebody.
But keep doing, guys. The chat is open.
Yes, please. I think, or what we could do is talk about if all the mascots fought each other.
You had it on your podcast, the mascot fight, right?
Yeah. If you guys have like 9 hours of your lives to waste, you can hear my dad and I talk about which mascots would beat each other. The Dragons. I mean, it's a dragon.
What was the final? Dragons against Giants?
I think so, yep. Because the Giants are a tough matchup too.
Yeah.
But the whole breathing fire or poison or lightning or wherever.
It's a strong.
It's a tough. And now
ability.
They weren't Songyong at the time, so now we could have specified and done a Korean dragon, and that would have made things more interesting because I think Korean dragons are more smaller than European medieval dragons.
Is Sayong Korean or is it Chinese?
Songyong. No, I think it's Korean.
Okay.
When I googled it.
Korean.
So that would have been interesting. The big thing was. How we handled the steel sharks. That was controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you...
But don't spoiler. If you guys want to...
If you want to waste a lot of time of your life...
Listen to Sean's podcast. He has a bird.
Yeah.
And there's a question to you, Sean. When will you resume your podcast?
Frau Hose, that's a good question. I think I might start dabbling in it again this fall.
With NFL content.
With NFL content, fantasy football content, and just general life observations. Maybe talk about European football a little bit. Does who still have a bird?
You.
Do I have a bird?
Yeah, he lives in your hair.
My bird has a bird. That's how crazy I am. But yeah, maybe mess around with it this fall. It's something I really enjoy. I want to get back to. Maybe I start a Twitch channel. Who knows?
Yeah.
We have to talk about what we're doing with this channel in the fall.
Doing it. Maybe not every week, but...
Probably not.
There's going to be content.
I got to set up a studio in St. John, I think.
Yeah.
Got to get a good camera.
So, wir get back to topic.
Sorry.
I was now a little bit, ja. So, wir schauen aber nochmal abschließend jetzt vom vergangenen Wochenende auf die ganze AFL. Wie ist es ausgegangen? Wie ist der Stand der Dinge? Also die Vikings sind als Erstplatzierter in die Playoffs gegangen, wir als Zweiter. Haben gegen die Dragons gespielt und die Vikings eben gegen die Giants. Unsere Niederlage gegen die Panthers letzte Woche hat nichts mehr an der Tabellensituation geändert. Deswegen sind die Prager auch Fünfter geblieben und die Rangers Mödling sind Sechster geworden. Das hat eben die besagten Playoffs gebracht. Und in denen gab es eben unseren Sieg 31-20 gegen die Dragons. Und gestern a really close semifinal between the Vikings and the Giants.
Really close.
I watched it. You guys can rewatch it also on ORF. It's still on the TV take. And yeah, you said it. The Vikings, I think, were happy to...
They should be. They should be. I mean, in the second half, they played good enough to win. They took advantage of mistakes made by Graz, which is what championships need to do, or championship teams need to do. But in the first half, the Graz looked really sharp and really, really good. It's just they weren't able to maintain it for 4 quarters.
Yeah. Oberjager is asking, Vikings or Giants, what do we like more?
I mean, I think...
It's tough to say, right? It's a final...
I think it's tough to say. I mean, both cause unique matchup issues. You know, the Vikings have been the best running offense by far. The Giants have been the best passing offense by far. Both defenses are really good and have really standout players. Some of the best defensive players in Austria, and Balog and Schnurr. And yeah, I think an Austrian Bowl is going to be tough no matter what, especially for us this year. But yeah, I think that's tough to say. I think there's certain... It would be nice to play somebody other than the Vikings, but on the other hand, it's special to play the Vikings in the Austrian Bowl. It feels right.
Ja. Bridget, ich weiß nicht, warum deine Nachricht gelöscht wurde. Und dein Timeout ist auf jeden Fall aufgehoben. Aber gute Frage zu dem Spiel gestern. Bevor wir zu Alottas Frage kommen. Und zwar about the bowl on the 31st in St. Pölten. Vikings with 2 quarterbacks. How challenging is this for our defense? Saw this first time yesterday on ORF Sport. Was surprising for me to watch. Für die es nicht gesehen haben, und zwar Nico Ruder came in as a quarterback for a couple of drives, and Salem, the US quarterback, played outside receiver for these plays. Nico Ruder is a 19-year-old Austrian quarterback who played mainly in their second team. And yeah, got the opportunity also now for some Team 1 games. So how challenging is this for our defense? I think having a because he's athletic. Salem, an athletic outside receiver there. It's going to be a task to cover him and to...
Yeah, I think the challenging aspect would be having two Americans at receiver.
Yep.
And pretty athletic guys. Salem, not your traditional receiver, but a great athlete. And obviously, they're Mitchell Page, their other American import. So when you can have two American receivers, if the quarterback is competent, that's a huge advantage for the offense. But Nico doesn't pose the rushing threat that Salem does as well, which is why they rotate them. So both offenses will pose challenges. I don't know if one is more difficult than the other, or preparing for both is extremely difficult, because the schemes, from what I saw at least, the schemes remain similar.
No.
And it's not like two completely different offenses you're preparing for. It's just preparing for multiple personnel packages. And I have no doubt Kev, especially with a bye week this week, Kev and the defense
going to be super
is
prepared.
Going to be super prepared for that. And but yeah, anytime you can put more great athletes on the field, it's makes things challenging.
Yep. Hello, DJ Fu.
What's up, Fu?
Jean.
Yeah, he's gonna run out of, or she, excuse me, is gonna run out of misspellings of my name.
Yeah. Who's your nemesis?
That's a phenomenal question, by the way. I don't know if nemesis is such a strong word.
What is nemesis? It's like the...
Nemesis is like your
counterpart,
ultimate opponent.
Yeah.
I would probably say Lucas. No. That's not true. I'd probably say Hovat from the Vikings, the safety. I think I've thrown more picks to him than anybody else in Austria, like times 3. And he's such a sneaky good football player. He's very underappreciated. And I think we genuinely had a rivalry at the beginning. Now we're just respectful competitors. Yeah. I think Bollag would be one. I think Schnorr would be one. I've had great battles with Schnorr. I think anybody, when you have a great defender on the other side, anytime that could be considered a nemesis. But I'd probably say Hovat. And I've actually tackled Hovat a couple times illegally on runs. So that would be the closest thing to a nemesis I have. But I don't think nemesis is the right word.
Vom Oberjager eine nächste Frage. Ich bin der Meinung, egal wer von beiden, es wird ein hartes Matchup, aber machbar. Es wird auf jeden Fall spannend, und wenn wir unsere Stärken abrufen können und die Offense funktioniert, passt das. As I told you, just keep going, go Raiders. Beste Grüße, Soli. Soli, auch an dich, liebe Grüße. Genau, so ist es. Also, wie auch immer, mit wem sie auch immer aufs Feld kommen, it's going to be a challenging game. The Austrian Bowl is always, it's not... there were some Austrian Bowls in the past where the score was relatively clear, but nobody expected it before. It was a combination of circumstances. Once it was against the Vikings, they had quarterback issues. The second one was against the Giants, where we were just... we were on a different level there. We were on a different planet that day, I think.
That was... In 2015, our defense was on a different planet, and you got that 38-0 win. But the 2016 win, that was just everything bounced our way. We executed at such a high level. It wouldn't have mattered who we played on that day.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are really, really close. 17 we lost. 18 was Thomas Spiegelman, the Fußballgott kick, and 19 was not an easy game at all, and we were losing at halftime. So, like I said, it's never easy. It's never easy to win a championship. So yeah, like I said, the Giants and the Vikings both would have posed different problems.
Ich versuche gerade nebenbei, ich glaube nämlich, dass die Mods sehr stark eingestellt sind und deswegen werden immer eure langen Nachrichten gebannt und ihr kriegt einen Timeout. Deswegen probiere ich das mal in der Zwischenzeit umzustellen. So, Alotta, you are on a funny trip tonight, huh?
two teams that I know of have car sponsorships, right?
Dacia and Sayong.
Exactly. Songyeon. And I drive an Opel van.
Sehr gut comment. Okay, Austrian Bowl. In 2 weeks, the 31st of July. Last day of July, last day of the season, last day also of this football team of this year.
That's right.
Because I like this sentence. Some coaches told in this past, like, hey, look at each other before the last game. It's not going to be the same team
Ever
again.
Ever.
So look at each other and just remember this when you go out there. Sean, who do you think is the best receiver currently in Austria? For me, it has to be Marco.
The best receiver currently in Austria, both Austrian and American? That's a good question. The Giants receiver, the American import, had a phenomenal season kind of after his rough start against us the first game of the season. He had a very, very productive season. Obviously, the American guy, Vienna, had a really nice season. Didn't play often or as much as some other imports, but played a really productive season. But if you're talking about Austrians, Marco Schneider's phenomenal, but he's not the best yet, in my opinion. I think the best Austrian receiver is Philipp Hauen for the Dragons. He's really, really good. I think Marco would even say that. Beer Bomber is a special talent. With a little more maybe off-season work.
Yeah.
Potentially could be, but best ball skills is Beer Bomber. I had the privilege of working with the national team for a couple years now, and Marco's phenomenal. Will be phenomenal, particularly when he's of the age of these guys. But don't forget that Marco's played the men's level for 2 years now and was a rotational starter in 19. So his performance this year is just the beginning, in my opinion. But he's not as polished as a guy like even Adrian. In my opinion, is a better receiver than Marco at this stage of his career, even though it's sneaky. Adrian is not necessarily as productive in terms of numbers, but what he does on the football field is super impactful, and you saw that in our offense when Adrian's not out there. So a guy like Adrian, a guy like Philipp Hauen, a guy like Beer Bomber, these guys
experienced.
Yeah, exactly. And Marco, when he's 24, is just going to be absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. He's going to be potentially better than all of them.
Great to hear. Back to the Austrian Bowl. We have now 2 weeks of preparation. We're going to practice a couple of times, maybe once or twice. We already said it. The Austrian Bowl, it's special. You can't say. It's always a special day, and it comes down to what for you? What's going to be the difference maker? What's going to be important for us to win that Austrian Bowl?
I think it's going to be similar to what it takes to win every Austrian Bowl. I know that sounds stupid, but it was just easier before. But for this year, we have to build on what we did last week. The defense has to continue to play well. They have to hold guys to 21 points or less, which they've done consistently all year. Obviously, they're probably kicking themselves for giving up a couple huge run plays last week, and that's uncharacteristic of our defense. But from a points per game standpoint, if they can hold guys from 21 and under, we should win football games.
Yeah.
And they've been doing their job consistently. It's the offense that hasn't been. And so for the offense, we can't have 2 turnovers. I can't throw 2 picks. That just doesn't work in championship football games. But we have to be able to run the ball like we did. That was the big thing. We've been actually very productive on third downs, but we get to third down too often.
Too fast.
Yeah, and too early in the drive. And so if we can sustain these 6 to 7 to 8 yard runs like we did on the weekend, and we get into second and mediums, we get into second and shorts, that makes a huge difference. But when against Swabish and Vikings in Tivoli and Vikings, for the CEFL we're just in third and medium, third and long too often. We have to avoid those situations. So being productive on first and second down is going to be a huge task, and also getting touchdowns and not field goals.
So strong defense, especially run defense against the Vikings. No turnovers, and then productive offense on first and second downs. That could be
red
our
zone
keys.
offense. We can't settle for field goals.
Yeah,
we have
finish.
to score.
We have to finish the drives.
Exactly.
And that's our keys to victory. They here easy now, but we still have to do it.
Yeah, not so easy on game day.
Exactly. Austrian Bowl infos for you guys out there. The tickets are available on football.at. So check out. Our fan sector is, when you look from the field, I think on the left side, but it's written on the homepage, so you can find the right section. And there's going to be a fan bus. We only can do it if there are at least 50 people signing up. So if you want to go to the Austrian Bowl in a Raiders fan bus from Tivoli to St. Pölten and back at the same day, then sign up. Send us a message, email to fanbus@raiders.at. The tickets are €60, and then you guys have to buy, of course, the ticket for the game. But St. Pölten, the arena, the stadium, I like it a lot. I think it's a perfect size for an Austrian final.
Absolutely.
Not too big, not too small, right?
Far better than Klagenfurt.
Kind of in the middle of Austria. A lot of people go there. I just heard that what I really like is that a lot of people from the region, I think somebody told me, I forgot the percentage, what it was really high, like over 30% of the sold tickets, just really locals. Like around locals, which is cool. So they are accepted there, and I hope they're gonna. 03 is our sector. Okay, cool. Thank you, Bridget. I didn't have it in mind. So I hope that the AFPÖ continues to do the Austrian final there, the Austrian Bowl.
I hope so too. I've only played Austrian Bowls in 2 locations now, in Klagenfurt and St. Pölten. St. Pölten is far better
than Klagenfurt.
The stadium is more appropriate. It's more intimate. You don't feel like you're playing in a giant empty stadium. And also, like, getting there is far easier for fans and for just us in general too, and it was nice to stay in Klagenfurt afterwards and go to Wojciech and everything like that, and St. Pölten is also beautiful, but it's most certainly not the Wojciech and Villach and Klagenfurt area, but from a game day atmosphere it's far better. It's really every time we've played there, which I guess is twice now has been okay, so they did it before.
Before they were already
14 was St. Pölten, right? 14, 13, 12.
No, 10 was Innsbruck, 11 was Vienna, 12 was Vienna again, 13, 14 was St. Pölten.
Gotcha. Then Klagenfurt.
15, 16,
17.
Was 17 already? Still in Klagenfurt.
And then we went back.
18, 19, 21.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hope they continue to do it there, unless there's a similar setup in maybe Salzburg or.
It's also too big. Salzburg.
That's what I mean. A similar stadium size. That 8,000 to 10,000 range is really. We ignored it for a reason. The comment. It's very, very appropriate. It's very intimate. It's a really great atmosphere.
So go there, be there, come and support us.
Yeah.
There's also going to be the Silver Bowl. Just quickly, it's going to be Raiders 2 against the Salzburg football team.
The Vikings 2.
Did I say Raiders 2? Vikings. Vikings 2, of course. They went undefeated. Good accomplishment. Great accomplishment for them. Nico Ruder going to be the starting quarterback. And then I come to maybe the last part before we go into our questions for each of us. The AFL going to be 10 teams next year. Vikings 2, they can't go up because you can't have 2 teams there. So it's going to be
funny though.
It's gonna be, let me quickly check before I say something wrong. It's gonna be Salzburg, Amstetten, Steel Sharks, and I think Snojmo Knights from the Czech Republic. Yeah, exactly.
At 3-3, they're moving up?
Yeah.
Interessant.
So four new teams, 2 new teams we never played before.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep it with one word. It's going to be interesting in many ways. And we will see. I think it's going to be an interesting preparation for them and also for the league, how they're going to put a schedule together which stays fair. But this is out of our control. But we hope it's going to be good. Let's keep it this way. There are a lot of opinions about it. Ihr Lieben, wir kommen langsam zum Ende. Die Stunde ging schneller rum als gedacht. Und wenn ihr noch Fragen habt an Sean, an mich, an uns als Raiders, an...
I have a question for you.
Of course, in a second. Can I just finish my
You
sentence?
said when we had questions.
Ja, write it in the chat. No. Wenn ihr noch Fragen habt, auch zu den Raiders oder zu irgendwas bei den Raiders, auch wenn es die andere Abteilungen betrifft, dann schreibt es sehr gerne jetzt noch in den Chat. Wir werden das beantworten. Und wir fangen auch gleich mit der ersten Frage an. Sean, your question to me.
You asked me a lot of questions about the season, what the insider view is. And I think you have a unique perspective because you're 1 foot inside, 1 foot outside. What do you think?
You know, I'm Switzerland. I can't...
No, but just what was did you have any interesting observations in this year that was either new or different, or you could tell something that I've said by an observation in terms of what you thought was particularly challenging?
What I observed, and which was really interesting for me to see it the first time from the outside, because I had the same situation when I was a player, so from the inside, is how a team was built, or how characters were finding their positions, their right positions. There were a lot of people who, for example, I think didn't really know where they belong in that group. You know, it's a big group. It's 50 plus people, and you know, there are alphas. There are, you know,
really strong personalities.
And it was interesting to see also the change of some persons, where they probably started to be in, hey, I want to be an alpha, but they didn't really fit it in as an alpha, and then they found a really better spot, and they feel much more comfortable. And this was interesting to see from the outside how also the team came together in the moments of is diversity? No. Adversity. And this was interesting to see from the outside. And for me, I think you can find, it's really easy to find a lot of good things, and it's probably also really easy to find a lot of bad things. For me personally, I just decided already before the CFL loss, this is a completely new team. I should stop comparing it in my head to other times. Because I was always, when I was a player, I was always making fun of these veterans, or alumni, or how you want to call them, not playing anymore, sitting in the stadium, drinking 2, 3, 4 beers, and saying, oh, when we played, everything was better. And I told myself so hard, never be one of these guys. When I played soccer, I had the same people in the stands when I played football. And nothing against them. I think that's normal to say that. But I said never be that. So I decided for myself, stop comparing it. And just take it as a new generation in all phases, coaching staff, players, even organization. And let's wait what's coming out.
Yeah.
And
no, I think that's an interesting point because I had to do the same. At one point, offensively, I was playing with a completely new offense. I mean, guys that I've been playing with for multiple years, were gone. You know, Hab was gone, AP was gone, Afata was gone, Bonatti was gone. These veterans that we had,
injured.
Spielman was gone. And so there was guy like Marco. I played one season with Marco. Tobias Uhl. I played one season with Tobias Uhl. You know, and Fink. You know, we haven't spent a ton of time on the field together. Who was also hurt. You know, and so at one point, like Prague and Rangers, it's like I'm playing with Romed and Belici and Rabensteiner, who I coached the year before at the R2, and you know Jeff and Klaus,
all
and
new guys,
all guys I've never played with before, and I had to do the same thing in my head, kind of like, hey, just erase it, stop having all these expectations based on a prior success or prior teams, because it's not actually fair to these guys.
Exactly, and like you said, 2019, especially the latest great season for the Raiders, was just special and probably never comes again like this. And I like the fact that you said it's probably also not fair to
not fair to them,
to the new generation.
No, it's not fair to them to hold them to such a high standard that a standard they didn't set. You know what I mean? And so, though, it's interesting you said that, because I had to do something very, very similar. It was, like I said, a very challenging season.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Absolutely.
Bridget, another youngster in the NFL after Sandro. That's a really, really good question. That question actually doesn't depend on necessarily talent. I think we have a lot of talented young football players coming up. The 2003 age group of our youth have a lot of really good football players. You saw one up already in the KM this year before he got injured, Philip Tashler. But there's a handful of guys that are extremely talented, and then you also consider a guy like Marco, and Bonatti's not really a young guy anymore, but he gave the NFL a shot. And it's not 100% about talent, actually. There's size, weight, speed measurements and like templates that you have to kind of fit into, and also just a certain opportunity. And so Sandro fit into that because he has special speed that a lot of people don't have. You know, other people fit into it because of certain size, weight. You know, like we have a guy, Valentin Sen. He was a very young, unexperienced football player, but he's just a massive human being and a great athlete. So we got opportunities that other people who might be better football players didn't get because they don't have the size, speed, weight, or size, weight, speed characteristics. So it's tough to say with the youngsters because you don't know how their bodies would change. But a guy like Philip Tashler would fit into those categories if he fills out. But he has the frame to do it. A defensive end, number 97. He's pushing 2 meters, I believe, and has the work ethic to be able to do it, and is talented. So you could see a guy like that maybe getting a call from the IPP program in the future. But unfortunately, like a guy like Marco probably would never get a call, even though he's a phenomenal football player. So it's more than just talent. But I would probably say Philip Tashler would be somebody that raises eyebrows at the IPP.
Probably, yeah. 2-3
Valentin
years.
Sen's brother in the U18 at the moment is just a massive human being, which is always going to raise interest. So a couple, but mainly linemen because the few guys, and which is really hard for the club because all of our massive human beings get taken from us, and as you know, it's easier when you have massive human beings on your team.
Yeah, exactly. Raiders Fanatic, danke für dein Follow und yeah, looking into the future, are there any names to watch, maybe from somewhere else, maybe from Nachwuchs? Yeah, I mean, football talent, there's a lot of football talent in Europe. I mean,
100%.
We see it right now. I follow a little bit the Elf, and there are names popping up I never heard before. French guys, Italians, whatever.
Are you saying looking into the future of the Raiders or just in Europe in general?
No, I think he means like looking into the future for the IPP or NFL program, maybe from somewhere else, Nachwuchs. So
for the Raiders.
For the Raiders. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, you know the Nachwuchs better than I do, but it's probably hard to now call out a 70-year-old name, especially because you talked about these abilities somebody probably has to have when it comes to the NFL. But we have talent there.
Absolutely.
We have talent.
The immediate future for our U18, they're coming off a championship last year, which points to the talent that the group had. This year, we have numbers issues, so things aren't going the way we want to, but nevertheless, we have anywhere from 5 to 8 guys that potentially could be KM starters, and probably 3 to 4 guys that really could be KM contributors early on. Last year, like this year, moving in, you had a Christoph Nitzenada and a Simon Pilger contribute immediately, which is rare and points to how good of football players they are. The 03 age group has 5 to 6 guys that could probably do that, at least be in that battle for camp for a job. And then the 04 age group also has several players that would be able to do that. So the future from talent moving up to the KM and the youth is bright, and that's not even talking about the U16, who also won a championship last year in their age group and also has phenomenal football players. And that's kind of what the Raiders have done historically, is create a really good handful of football players. We don't necessarily have the depth or the quantity of other clubs, but we most certainly produce quality. And so that's a pillar of our organization. So yeah, in the next few years, without naming, I don't want to forget anybody, but the 03 age group, you're going to see a couple of names come up in the next 2 years, I would say, that go, okay, these guys are good football players.
But like you said, we have the talent, but we need more, we need numbers.
Yes.
So if you guys know anybody out there, no matter if it's a boy or a girl, and no matter if it's basketball, football, flag football, or cheerleading or cheer dance, send them to us. We are a great and big family, and we are always looking for talent in all age groups and everywhere, and especially probably right now in the under 18, because it's an age group where also other things are getting more important for young people, and
U18, U16 too.
School is very harder. Important, and life is changing. So we would love if you guys out there can make some promo for us and for our youth program, because we have great coaches, we have a great organization. They get in nice practices, they can have the chance to practice in the best environment probably in Europe, and why not?
One thing I really take pride in about our youth program in the last several years is I think it can be intimidating to come play a sport that's so physical or demanding, that you may not be comfortable with. And with such established players, like these 18-year-olds have been playing, some of them for 10 years now. But one thing that I really think is special about our Nachwuchs program, and I see it at the U18 and U16 where this could be a problem, is these guys are so accepting and so nice and so empathetic kids, young men, I should say. They really also are teachers on the field for young guys. That it happens all the time, and it's really a special group of kids that we have at the U18, U16 level, and it's always nice to be a part of a team of people with common goals that treat each other with respect and become friends. And I'm still friends with guys that I played with when I was 16, 17, 18. And
football is special for that.
It is. It's really, you can build bonds that you carry for the rest of your life. Exactly. And with our guys, I think that's truly special.
Perfect. I think this was a nice last sentence. So, since we don't have a guest, we're going to answer these questions now by ourselves. And I say it, you answer first, and then...
No, you answer first.
Okay, I answer first?
No, I want to answer first.
Who now? You?
What if we did it at the same time every time?
Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you so much.
You answer first.
Fine.
And then I answer, and we can also discuss about it if there is any...
Bust. Comedy.
Comedy or drama? You say comedy, I mean, yeah, I say drama.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
When it comes to...
like TV shows or movies,
I like drama more than comedy.
Or just real life?
No, not real. I hope not. I hope my life is more funny than dramatic. Hund oder Katze?
Dogs. I had 6 dogs in my household growing up at one point.
I never had a dog, only cats, so I say cats.
Makes sense.
But I think I like dogs more than cats. If I would want to buy or get a animal, it would be a dog. Schokolade oder Gummibärchen?
That is so tough. Every time you ask it, I really don't have a good answer. Yes.
True.
Yes. If you would have asked me 2-3 years ago, it would have been gummy snacks, gummy bears, hands down. But now in my old age, I've started to appreciate chocolate more.
Dark chocolate, like
Not so much-
90% cacao.
No, that's like Lisa. She does 99%. Ugh. I would probably still say gummy snacks.
Okay,
at the time.
me too.
Yeah.
And what is sour? Sour are I prefer sour gummy bears.
Oh yeah?
Rucksack oder Koffer?
Backpack.
Backpack, me too. Soccer or Formula One?
Formula One.
Soccer.
Out of default.
Mercedes or BMW?
But let's talk about soccer for a second.
Yeah.
With the Euro Cup.
Yeah.
Like, so England,
Yeah.
they won a semifinal on a PK,
What is a PK?
a penalty kick,
Yeah.
that like was a questionable call in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And guys intentionally go into the box and flop to get a PK, right?
I think that's pretty common. They even practice this.
Exactly.
You go into
It's
contact,
strategy.
and when you
Yeah.
feel a little bit,
when you're
you
stuck,
fell down.
Yeah, when you're stuck, try to get a penalty.
That's why they have the VAR, video assistant referee.
Still. So then he can kick the penalty kick, and then the goalie saves it, but he can play the rebound,
Yeah.
which I think is just ridiculous. Because nobody else is allowed in the box, right? So he gets 2 shots at it.
I mean, compared to a free throw in basketball.
Yeah.
When you miss the second one.
Yeah, but 1 goal in soccer carries the weight of 50 free throws.
Yeah.
And then a Euro Cup final finished on penalty kicks.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Soccer's
the worst.
There was a rule, and Germany won it, the European Championship in 1996 against the Czech Republic in England in the final with a golden goal. So the regular time was over, then there was overtime.
First goal, who wins?
And I think it was Oliver Bierhoff. Or was it Jürgen Klinsmann? I can't remember.
Bierhoff, what an awesome name.
Yeah, he's now the team manager, I think, from the German national team. But he scored the goal. Game was over.
See, that's cool.
They cancelled that rule. Because
Why? Because they're saying penalty kicks are so dramatic, which is true. But a golden goal, like, all right,
Over.
it's 120 minutes
Yeah.
over. Hey, next goal wins.
It was 90 minutes. 90 minutes over.
And then
Then-
but now they play 2 15-minute periods, right? And then, I don't know. I don't like it. I think it can be pretty, it can be a really beautiful sport, but these little nuances, like trying to get fouls and whatever, it drives me nuts.
You know what the UEFA or FIFA, I don't know who it is now, is doing right now? There's a youth tournament somewhere, really like young kids. And they changed to 30 minutes per half, unlimited exchanges,
Okay.
and golden goal or something.
After the
Something.
16
There's 3-4 new rules they want to bring in to make the game more interesting.
I think the thing of acting like you're hurt on purpose to fool the ref, like any other sport league bans that action, and in football or soccer it's just kind of like strategy. Like in the NBA it was a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
Still is.
They get fined.
But guys get fined big for it because you're manipulating the circumstances.
Mercedes or BMW?
Audi, Mercedes,
Me too, Mercedes.
but Audi. If you could pick Audi, would you?
Puzzeln oder Fernsehen?
Would you pick Audi if you had the choice?
Mercedes.
Really? Over Audi? I think I'd pick Audi. What was it?
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends drive all Porsches. You don't know that song?
It sounds like Willie Nelson.
It's Janis Joplin.
It's close.
Puzzeln oder Fernsehen? TV, yeah, me too. Tea or coffee?
Did anybody answer puzzling? Not even that nerd Jan said puzzling, right?
I think he did.
He probably
Vince probably said puzzling, huh?
I don't know. Nerds.
So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Me too, coffee. McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Tough for me, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
No
but
burger.
I like the Burger King. I like this taste of the meat because it has this fire
Yeah.
burnt.
If I wanted a real burger, I would cook a real burger. I want something not a real burger.
And that's why
That's why I go to McDonald's.
Car or bicycle?
Car.
Me too. Bier or wine?
Beer.
Beer. Party or chillen?
Chilling.
Me too. Black or white?
Black.
Black. Summer or winter?
Summer. Although the next answer is going to be weird. Or a later answer.
Summer. So
Yeah.
you take summer?
Yeah.
Me too. Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Batman. Mountains or...
Why?
Because Superman is friendly
Yeah.
and Batman is...
But Superman's
Nasty.
actually a superhero. And
Yeah.
Batman doesn't kill people either.
Nobody talks
That's
with
right.
a deep voice.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a hair like Superman.
What's the matter with having good hair, Paul?
I don't have hair. So I take Batman. Mountains or ocean?
Ocean.
Mountains. Fruits or vegetables? Vegetables?
Fruits.
Fruits. Chaotic or being organized?
Organized.
Me too. Traveling or staying at home?
Staying at home.
Traveling.
I like traveling. That's a weird question because those are two.
If I would have a chance,
Would
I
you
would-
travel every single weekend if you had the
no,
opportunity?
I would not have. I would go on world travel. How you call it? I would just travel around with my camper.
So, like, if you had 365 days, you'd pick to travel majority
no,
of
not
those
working, just
Yeah, yeah.
discovering the world. I don't need a base.
I like having a base, but I also like traveling.
No. House or flat?
House.
House. Cooking or ordering something?
Having my wife cook.
I would say cooking.
Personally, ordering.
Personally. City or countryside?
Countryside.
Countryside. Sweating or having cold?
See, I would rather be cold, but I would prefer the summer. That's the American in me. Air conditioning.
Yeah, Lotta, imagine it.
Air conditioning.
Beautiful
thing.
It's air conditioning.
It's summer and it's beautiful, and I'm not sweating my ass off.
I would, yeah, I can't answer that really. I would say.
When it's hot, we both.
I hate it.
I sweat all the time.
Me too. So yeah, I have to pick then.
That's why I
having
think
cold.
like the winter when it's sunny during the winter and like no wind really, and it's cold but you put a jacket on and it's nice.
Mm.
That's kind of like I would actually pick fall. I wouldn't pick summer or winter. I'd pick fall.
in spring. Yeah,
Not so much spring. Fall.
fall. Basketball.
Boys of fall.
Basketball or football?
Like American football.
Yeah,
American football. But basketball is also awesome.
football.
Yeah.
Cheerleading or cheer dance?
I like both a lot, but I'm more of a dancer than a leader.
I take
So if I had to do one,
cheerleading. That was a weird noise.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody fell from the roof.
Laughed at you being a cheerleader.
Ja. So, ihr Lieben, wir kommen zu unserer letzten Kategorie und zwar unsere unglaublich tolle Pirates Cove Playlist. Und ich habe es schon verraten, ich fange mal wieder an, meinen Song drauf zu tun. Und zwar von Janis Joplin, Mercedes-Benz.
It's a minute and 47 seconds long.
Yeah, but it's a cool song.
It's not even a song.
It is,
It's like
It was made in a time where track duration wasn't important for the algorithm of Spotify. Because now every song has 3 minutes for a reason. I will explain you later in a conspiracy meeting.
You want to know my song?
Yes. Say it.
There's a song that I was playing a lot this past week, but I don't know if it's appropriate for our playlist. I don't know what the rules are.
Write it in without saying, and then I decide.
I'm not sure if you know the song.
It's not on...
No, I misspelled it. Yeah, that one. It's probably not appropriate.
Okay.
I'll do it next time. So we're gonna do Looking for Freedom. Ooh, the Thomas Peterman the football guy. Unfortunately, it's probably not on Spotify.
No. What is the original?
Come baby. It's something. Yeah. Heaven Could Be a Place on Earth.
Ja.
Is the name of the original.
Und wir sharen natürlich auch die Playlist wieder mit euch. Und ihr müsst sie alle folgen. Es sind schon 13 Songs drauf. Es werden immer mehr. Und echt schon coole Songs. Vor allen Dingen von Sean. Total tolle Songs. Heaven is a place on earth.
How are you going to disrespect your national icon? Is there anybody more famous from Germany than David Hasselhoff besides Hitler, who's from Austria? So, back to my original statement. Who's more famous German? Heidi Klum? No.
More famous than David Hasselhoff? First, David Hasselhoff is not German.
What?
Is he German?
I'm pretty sure he's German.
No, he's
what do you
not.
think? He's American?
He's American.
I don't think so. I mean, he tore down the
with his
the wall of Berlin
with his song. He is born and raised in the U.S.
If he's American, I'll be very disappointed.
He's born in Baltimore, Maryland. U.S. American actor and singer.
That's really disappointing.
Yeah, and his parents are probably also American.
That's extremely disappointing.
Yeah, sorry.
I thought he was German for whatever reason. Why do Germans love him?
No German loves him.
Flo Grein loves him. He's almost German.
Okay, we're gonna stop it now. This discussion.
Hold on.
What do you want to check?
I want to see if his parents are at least German.
Hasselhoff?
His family is Roman Catholic with German, English, and Irish descent. His great-great-grandmother, Mette, immigrated with her family to Baltimore from Fulkerson, Germany in 1865. So I was only like 100 years off, 4 generations off. That's super disappointing.
You really thought he's
I
German?
really thought he was German.
No, it was he made that song, and then he claimed for himself that he was the reason, or his song was the reason for the end of the Cold War.
Why was he looking for freedom? He wasn't occupied.
Vietnam War, I don't know.
It was in the 80s.
Sean, I think
That makes no sense. This just blew my mind.
I think David Hasselhoff is, with this whole story of the end of the Cold War and everything, and his song is just it's not something true.
Yeah, he's just a super arrogant guy.
He is.
I thought he was helping his homeland.
No, I mean at that time he was being
his great-great-grandmother met his homeland.
At that time he was the main actor in Baywatch, right? And
yeah,
was
but
hanging
Arnold
around.
Schwarzenegger is also
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Austrian,
right? But it became a U.S. governor, so it's not
because California, I think, is one of the few states where a not U.S. citizen can become governor.
Sure, But I'm just saying,
picked and chose.
I'm just saying it's not uncommon for a European to become a ultra big hit in the States.
True.
That doesn't mean they have to be born in America.
Yeah. I love that. The video where he eats a burger. You know that?
David or Arnold?
David, where he's super drunk in his bathtub tube eating a burger and his daughter filming him. It's a disgusting Video.
Okay.
Ihr Lieben, das war's für heute. Das war's. Es war eine etwas ruhigere, aber doch sehr, glaube ich, coole Stunde und 20 Minuten, wo wir über vieles reden konnten. Wir werden uns in genau 2 Wochen nach dem Austrian-Bowl wiedersehen. Vielleicht haben wir dann beide keine Stimme mehr. Are you gonna be... No, you're on holiday, right?
I'm on holiday. But I will be...
So maybe we have to push it.
We'll have to talk. Or maybe we do... I can Skype in. We'll talk. My parents will be here for sure, though.
Yeah. We're gonna find a solution. Yes. Maybe it's not gonna be the Monday after the Austrian Bowl. Maybe it's the Wednesday then or something. But we're gonna have our last show in 2 weeks. Yes. Next week is nothing because we have a bye week. And then the week after is the Austrian Bowl. And then we both go on holiday and summer break. And then you guys gonna get informed how the show gonna continue in the fall.
And also, give us ideas of what you would want in the fall.
Yeah.
You know, obviously we have Nachwuchs going on. Basketball would be starting up. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure. October.
So we have a lot of things going on with the club, but not the main focus of this show thus far, which has been men's football. But let us know if you want to hear about NFL, if you want to hear about ELF, if you want to hear about whatever. If you want it to be more of a casual show where Paul and I figure out the nationality of stars. Interesting guess. We can do that. But give us your feedback as well, because that'll just help the direction of the show. Obviously, we've never done this before, and we're just kind of we're doing what you guys think best, but nothing's better than feedback.
Exactly. So, before I have my last sentence, Sean, it's your stage.
I was unprepared for this.
Again.
It was last weekend was really, really nice. It was really, really nice to get back to Raiders football, at least how I define Raiders football. I think the team played in a way that we enjoyed, and I think you could tell that as a spectator. You could definitely tell it in the team that we enjoyed playing, we enjoyed winning together, we enjoyed being competitive together, and I think we got it back to where it should be in the perfect time. And obviously we just have to build upon that going into next week. But I'm very, very satisfied with last weekend and look forward to playing in the Austrian Bowl and trying to bring another title back to Innsbruck, which is always the goal.
Sounds great. Sounds really great. Vielen Dank fürs Einschalten. Vielen Dank für euren Support. Wir freuen uns, viele von euch in St. Pölten zu sehen. Und wünschen euch bis dahin eine gute Zeit. It's a MCA comeback. This will never happen, Alotta. Never, ever. So, macht es gut, bleibt gesund. Wir sehen uns in 2 Wochen. Lasst euch impfen. Bis dahin, alles Gute. Danke fürs Einschalten. Bis bald.
Ciao, Kakao.
Und vielen Dank.